Welcome to another episode on our channel. I went ahead and got another Gatlin gun. I thought I might do something different with it. I'm not sure. Uh, but I wanted to assemble it for you because there were a couple of areas that actually were time consuming with the process. The instructions are visual. There is some Mandarin in places, but you'll see that there are some missteps, I guess, in terms of the visuals. It's not quite clear how things go together. So anyway, I hope this saves you time in the end. So we're going to pause and get set up for the Gatlin gun. So this section forms the front part of the gun to include the barrels. This is piece number 2 in position number 1, piece number 3. This piece number 2, actually, let's see if we can do this right or better, has 6 circles, and then it has basically cylinders, the circumference getting smaller with each section. There's 3 sections poking out, all right, like that. That's number 3 or 2. Here's number 3. It's just like the size of a dime, and it has 6 holes in it. Number 1 is, again, 6 holes, and it has a tiny cylinder here, but a larger one over here. That's number 1. And then this is number 4. This has just a larger cylinder on one end. So you take this piece, number 2, and what you're going to do is you're just going to fit number 3 over the hole and hold it in place, because it won't snap in place. You just have to hold it in place. Then you're going to take number 1, and it has a D-shaped peg hole, and the peg over here is D-shaped, so you just have to line it up. There you go. Then you take the 4th piece, and again, it's a D-shaped hole, a D-shaped peg, and you just line it up again. There we go. Now we're good. And they all have their 6 holes there. So now you're going to take the smaller part of the barrel versus the larger part, smaller part, and you're just going to wiggle it in. Hopefully everything will line up. You're hoping. Already seeing a problem. All right. And this one will take some work. But once you get it in, just try to push it down as far as you can so that there's actually a little projection coming out of the top there. You can see that, right? And then I would go to the opposite side and thread the barrel through. And again, just do your best to line everything up. And then push. Oh, that one went through nicely. So now we have 2 of the peg holes, or the pegs, showing through. So these are now all in here. And you can kind of see that they're projecting a little bit, just a touch, out of the number 2 piece. I still can't get over that. There's number 2. There's number 3, and then there's number 1, number 4, the barrels are 5, and now we have 6. So 6 has to go in here on the other side. But the problem is that you're going to see that these are not perfectly symmetrical in a nice shaped circle. So I lucked out, and I was just able to put it on, and all 6 of them got in there. but usually one will, almost all of them, 5 of them will get in there, and one will be kind of stubborn. If you had an awl that had a little kind of like a hook, you can kind of maneuver it a little bit and get it in there. So that's just a trick, hopefully to save you some time. So we've got number 2, number 3, number 1. I just find this fascinating. Number 4, the barrel's 5, 6, and then the unnumbered one, this part. This goes on. It's a circle opening, but there is a D hole on the inside. So you just have to kind of move it around until you find how it goes in there. And I can feel it give. So now we've got the front part of the gun together. So again, here is our barrel. And I probably would start with the other end. So I would take this bracket here and take the handle and just snap those into those 2 peg holes right there. Just kind of wiggle it in until it's nice and snug. Once you get it in, it's probably not going to go anywhere. Some pieces you'll probably have to not hot glue, but super glue together. Okay. There's this piece, which just goes here. Okay. So it just kind of snaps. Well, you don't really hear a snap, but maybe a little snap. It just goes like that. And the handle again. All right. Now this little rounded piece is going to attach to something to hold this in place. But we'll wait for that a little bit later. And this is going to hang down, but it needs a couple of places to be held in by pressure. So we're going to wait for that one too. You'll see a couple pieces that are the same. You have duplicates. So here's one piece. I don't know, it kind of looks like a headlight. I have no idea. It's just L-shaped, and then there's a cylinder there. But you want the cylinder to be pointing in this direction. Ooh, there we go. And then into that hole there will come this piece. Now this piece, you need to have the U part at the end. Can you see that U? Should be facing up. So if this piece is facing this direction, right? Almost gave you the finger there. And there's a D-shaped hole. You just got to wiggle it in as best as you can. So we're doing this in sections. These are the only 2 pieces that are identical. So this is basically, it has an opening. It's like a cylinder. This has a piece that goes into this with a D-shaped peg on the side. I think you can see it there. And then this is kind of a little like I don't know, it's a flat piece with not much of a cylinder like this piece was, but this piece should be facing in this direction. Okay, so I'll take this piece and I'll just slip it in here, just like that. And you've got the D-shaped peg, D-shaped hole, and you're just going to put it together. And it's going to be nice and snug. And it'll look like that when you're done with it. Now, this is a tongue and groove thing. So there are grooves here. It'll go onto sometimes on another piece. And I'm putting that off to the side. It's very important that you look at the piece very carefully. You're going to see that there's a small rectangle on this piece. You want the smaller rectangle facing up. Here, you're going to see this piece, little nubbies. There are actually, how can I get it showing? There are 2 of them. But the most important thing to pay attention to is this rectangular piece at the bottom. All right. So you want this piece facing down. And the smaller rectangle on this piece facing up. And then if you just find the little tiny pegs and the little holes, it will go together wonderfully. The other thing is this piece here with a little hook on it. And you're going like, what's that hook for? Well, it just kind of fits over this thing. There's a little piece here at the very end. It just fits over it. And I think the idea is that it like opens up and can close. All right. I forgot one thing. There is this little circular piece with rough edges, ribbed edges. It goes over the barrel part here. It's not given a number on the instructions. You just have to kind of see it's on the picture, and that's where it's supposed to go, right there. Okay, so it didn't have a number, so I didn't pay attention to it, but that's where it's supposed to go. All right, 2 other pieces to put together, and then we'll line everything up. This piece has a couple prongs on the end and just a weird shape. There is a smaller piece here. Oh my gosh, let's do it this way. That just kind of looks like that. That has a D-shaped peg, and this has a D-shaped hole. So you just line it up and put it together. Boom, we're together now. Tongue and groove thing. The grooves are here. The straight tongues are here, right? So we're just gonna just line everything up and push them in. So that's on there. Tongue and groove. Now you're looking for the diagonal ones right here. 2 diagonal ones. And these 2 things are slightly diagonal as well. So what you want to do is, and with the 2 prongs here, you just want to line everything up so it slips in and snaps down. There we go. All right. We are getting there. We're almost there, but this is the most complicated part of the process. We've got the tongue and grooves attached, the straight ones for this piece here, diagonal for this piece here. The latch, we took it off, but we'll put it on last because it'll just fall off very easily. So we have 2 more tongue and grooves to worry about, and they belong to these 2 pieces here. Now, let me back up a second. This looks like it has 4 pegs But if I turn it upside down and I just turn it a little bit here and there, you can see there's a fifth peg. There's one in the middle. That middle peg has to go into the hole. There it is. The hole right there. That middle peg has to go in the hole. So that hole has to be facing up. So however you put this into the tongue and groove, the hole has to be facing up, as does this hole. All right. So we're going to back out. I'm going to put these in the tongue and groove so that the holes are facing up. And then the middle peg will go into the hole. And then we'll do another close-up to show you, hopefully, the last step. Or the next to last step. We're getting close. Now, if you remember, the hole has to be facing up. There are two more tongue and grooves to represent these two pieces here. I'm going to take one of the pieces, make sure the hole is facing up, and I am slipping that in. There we go. The hole is up, and this one should be facing up as well, which it is. So I'm going to put it in there. Okay, it's good. The holes are both up. Now, what I need to do is make sure that middle peg gets into the holes that are facing up. Your gun will go this way, basically. So this thing is going to go this way. So I want to make sure that that middle peg, maybe it's not quite in the middle, it's just a little over to the side. But I'm just going to make sure that that gets into the hole. The inner peg is in the hole. And now I kind of want to put the gun through. And there's an opening near the handle. I don't know if you saw it there. I just slipped that peg through. And now I have this piece here, just a circle. Put that down for a second so you can see it. Just a circle with the opening. And I'm just going to slip that over that low peg there. Ooh, we're almost there. When we put that middle peg into the hole, what was created on the sides were another hole. You can probably see it right here. Right there. All right. And that's where these things go. So we will put that in here. And it will hold in by pressure. Ooh, there we go. So now we have that on there. Ooh, nice. The only thing left to do is to put this latch on. And I just have to find the right spot to hook it in. Boom. It's in there. It's a very complicated process, as you can tell. You kind of, initially I thought the little holes, the first set of holes are where the ring needs to go, or this handle. Not the handlebar here, but this handle here. But that's not the case. That's where this peg with the handlebar needed to go. And then that created a new set of holes for this thing to go into. So here's our Gatlin gun, finally put together. I can kind of give you a better view that way. It's pretty cool looking. But when you start to put on some metallic paint onto this thing, oh my gosh, it starts to take on a whole new life. So a metallic black color or close to black and an antique bronze will, it just in certain places will do wonders. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, have a great day.